Why did I buy a new tripod if it's not gonna work? It's hot in here, huh? Hey guys, it's Sarah Burgett and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a school survival guide, and I asked you guys what videos you wanted to see this week on Instagram. If you're not following my Instagram, go do that. I love chatting with you guys on there. It's just at Sarah J Burgett. But I asked you guys what you wanted to see, and one of the replies was from my friend Victoria. Actually, she said she would love to see a school survival guide. So I asked you guys individual questions with that too, and I also just wrote down some of my tips. So I'm gonna go ahead and give those to you. Then I'm gonna answer some questions. I know a lot of people are going into their second semester of college, and I actually just graduated college this past year, so I have a lot of experience and I know what a lot of you guys are going through, especially if you're in your like mid-college crisis, you know what I mean? So let's just get into it. Especially in college, but just in life, everyone gets to a point where they just want to give up. They're like, is this purposeful at all? Am I even learning anything and stuff like that? But we've all been there. We're halfway through college and we're like, are we even benefiting from any of this? I've learned to have fun. I've learned how to manage my time, but like, am I actually retaining information? Half the time I'm just glad I made it to my 8 a.m. and after that I'm like, well, I'm here, I've done most of the work. I don't even like think about like retaining the information, you know what I mean? It's so weird because I've been graduated from college for like a year and a half, and part of me wants to say, oh my gosh, like college is a scam, like it's a waste of money, blah blah blah, but it's really like what you put into it is what you get out of it. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't put that much into it because I've had this platform, I've had a lot of side gigs where I'm like, oh, maybe I don't need a degree, but I want to get the experience, I want to have the responsibility of owning a degree. But it's also in the most random crazy moments of my life where I realize, like in my subconscious, that I gained knowledge from something I learned in a classroom, even if I didn't consciously learn it, you know what I mean? I just like get clarity of something that I learned in college, whether it's inside or outside of the classroom. Because the coolest thing about college is like, yeah, you're learning obviously a lot of knowledge in college, like you're going to classes, you're taking quizzes, you're taking tests, you have your midterms, whatever. But outside of college, it's a lot of times the first time someone has a full responsibility for themselves. You have the responsibility to eat 3 meals a day, the responsibility to make it to your class, to not like waste this money and fail your class, and just everything of that sort. It's a lot of responsibility on one person. And this is just like the vital years of growth, you know what I mean? Like, it's wild. I guess I'm just here to tell you guys that everyone has these thoughts. You are not alone. Almost everyone has these thoughts. Some people are like, I love college so much, like this is amazing, like so smart, like your girl's just not that person. And I feel like it's especially harder if you're not in a major such as like nursing or teaching, because those are majors that you kind of have to retain the knowledge from college, and you also already have a job lined up. Like you're like, I know I'm going into teaching, I'm going to be a teacher, or I know I'm going to nursing, I'm going to be a nurse. And me personally, I was in communications and public relations and electronic media. I was just in very broad majors and minors where there wasn't a set in stone job for me out of college, which made it harder. Like when I'm in like one of my classes, I'm like, will I even need this for like the future? You know what I mean? I hope I'm making any sense right now. I just like am here to tell you guys to just not give up. I just want you guys to give it your all, or at least just try your best. Because I think the most important thing to know is that you are learning and growing, and with every experience you're realizing what you want or don't want in life, whether it be occupation, friendships, relationships, living quarters, like literally anything. And every experience is going to narrow down your outcome, and I think that's like why I always just like go into experiences full force, because I know like, yeah, if I don't like it and if I end up regretting it, at least I know what I don't want to do again. You know, I'm still learning something whether I realize it or not. Like even if you can't write it on paper, it's just there in your brain. Like the brain is like the weirdest thing ever. It's so weird. Now I'm gonna go into questions. That's like my little rant. I like wrote that in my journal the other day because I've been trying to journal every day, and I just thought a couple of you might want to hear that, because I know a lot of you guys are like, how do I keep myself motivated and stuff like that. So let's go on to the questions. Ooh, this person said, how do you get over test anxiety? And that is something I had immensely. Like, I had crazy test anxiety. But I'm the type of person that, like, I have to get a blank piece of paper, not even lined paper, a blank piece of paper and write down everything that I really needed to know for the test. A lot of things are on Quizlet too. Like even if you don't use like the definitions from Quizlet, you can like type in like the kind of test and it will tell you like what you really need to learn, because most teachers from a certain subject like try to have around the same tests, give and take, but at least it's the same material. I always color code my notes, like make it crazy, and then just like highlight the bold words that like when I see that on the test, I'm going to remember these three, oh my god, my dog. I'm going to remember these 3 bullet points about that word, and that will help me get through the question, because especially if it's multiple choice, it's going to be hard not to think about one of those answers or bullet points that you wrote down. And that always helped me with test anxiety, but also just don't drink too much coffee before a test. I remember I always got a lot of coffee before a test, and it would just like make me too wired where like I couldn't even focus on what I was doing. So I think that's really important too. Like even if it's not coffee, just like not too much caffeine, and just study the night before rather than the day of, because sleeping on it will be really important with like what you retain the next day. This girl said, how do you handle school stress? I'm taking 18 hours this semester, SOS. Girl, I've been there before. I think the most important thing when it comes to school stress is that if you have an hour or two in between your classes, to not go home. Because a lot of times at the beginning of college, I would go home and I would end up laying in bed, be like, oh, I'm gonna get all this stuff done, and I'd take a nap, or maybe I'd watch YouTube videos and just like lose focus. But instead, going to the library. And it sounds like such a cliche thing to say, but whenever in between classes I would go to the library instead of going home. Number one, walking home or whatever, driving home, it's gonna take like 30 minutes out of your 2 hours anyways. But if you just walk to the library, it's usually like right next to your class or campus. And I don't know why it's so motivating. Like when I'm doing my homework or sitting down in the library, yeah, you can get a coffee there. There's usually a coffee shop or a Starbucks around, but also just watching everyone else around you work on their homework is very, very inspiring. And being able to leave a class and do the homework immediately after, I don't know why it's so much easier than just like randomly going throughout your day, eating dinner, and then you're like, I guess I'll start on this chemistry homework, you know what I mean? So I think getting your homework done right away is so important. But even if you just go to the library, just look at your planner, see everything you need done for the week, and just start from the top, the thing that needs to be done the soonest, and then go down the line. It's so satisfying being able to like literally cross out what you have done. I just know going to the library, number one, everyone else is working hard for their degree, and you're like, oh my gosh, that makes me want to work hard for my degree. It makes you not want to, you know, just like slack off. Number two, I really recommend an Erin Condren planner. I've tried so many planners my day. A day designer is really good too, but the Erin Condren one just like really changed the way I go about my days, and I really love that one. And then yeah, like color coding it, getting a good set of pens, just like all that kind of stuff. It sounds really girly and cliche, but it always helps me so much. And actually physically crossing it out when you're done and having like a folder that's just all your done homework is like, oh, like I did that, I'm gonna put it aside. Like it's so satisfying. So when I had 18 credit hours, that is what I did to stay on top of it, basically. Oh, well, the next one was how to stop procrastinating homework and how to stay on top of schoolwork. So that kind of goes the same hand in hand. Surviving the last semester of your degree. It's so easy to get senioritis and just like really slack off your last semester, especially for me, because I made all my hard classes before my last semester. I had really easy classes, but at the same time, you're like, it's kind of easy to be motivated your last semester because you're like, after this semester I'm really done, so you might as well ace all your classes, you know what I mean? But I realize a lot of people can have different mindsets when it comes to that. They're gonna be like, I'm so done with college, I cannot do this anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, why would I get an A in this class if it's not like vital to my degree, you know? I would just like keep having it in the back of your mind that like, yeah, this is the last one, so you might as well like end it with a bang. I think if you don't, you'll regret it, you know? Because after college there's not that much that you can prove to yourself that like you can get done really fast. I don't know if that answer made any sense. I don't know if I'll keep that in the video, honestly. What's the best way to get through the day without a nap? So I don't have a good answer to this because I think naps are what got me through college, because I would get up so early, do so much work, my brain would be dead. I'd take a nap and then I'd get up, either finish my work or like go to dinner or whatever. I never took naps until college, to be honest. And the best way to go throughout the day without taking a nap, I guess, would be to keep yourself busy, keep yourself caffeinated. But I also don't think naps are bad as long as you can limit yourself to like 30 minutes to an hour and then get up and get at it, you know what I mean? Dealing with toxic people or situations. This is something I actually dealt with a lot in college, and it's hard to have like a single answer in one video for this, so maybe I'll make a whole different video on this, but I would just really think about who you want to be as a person, where you want to go, and if that person aligns with your goals. And if they don't, it's really hard to rip a band-aid off, especially when it comes to a human being. But if they don't and they're being toxic to you and the situation's toxic, then someone else that's way better for you can fill that void. And it might take time and it might take heartbreak, but you deserve more in the long run. And as long as you know you deserve more, you will get more. You know what I mean? Manifestation. Making friends SOS. This is so kind of weird to talk about, but I don't know if I regret being in my sorority. I regret having to pay for it because it was really expensive, and when I had homework and I had to go to like the mandatory meetings, that just like was not ideal for my college career. But also I have made some of my best friendships in my sorority. So I think joining, not even just a sorority, joining a club is a really, really good way to make friends. But not only that, like getting a side job, even if it's just at your local Panera, at your local bar, like getting a side job is like one of the best ways you can make friends. It's like really encouraging friends because you're both, you know, making your money, you're both hustling, you're both in school, but also you can hang out at the end of the day if you guys get along. And I think it's easy to get along with coworkers and stuff like that. But yeah, just joining little clubs. There's so many clubs in college, and I kind of regret not being in more when I was in college because some of them are just like so cool, and there's like no reason that you shouldn't just like try something out, even if it's not for you in the end. The last one I'll do is how to balance work, school, and friends. This is a hard one. I feel like I keep shrinking. It's like that diagram. I don't know if like, maybe I'll post a picture of it. It's like that triangle where it's like pick 2 out of the 3, like work, school, friends, or like social life, whatever. It's hard. It's really hard. Like I said, it's kind of easier in my case. When I was bartending, it's like all of my friends work with me, so like that's kind of work, but also we can hang out. But then with school, it's like, yeah, just find people that are motivating and have the same goals as you. Go to the library together, and then maybe you can get a bite to eat after to celebrate your studying or whatever. You just kind of have to overlap them. And I know a lot of people would have different advice, like you have to make them all separate, but you're not going to have enough time in your day to make that separate, but also have enough self-care for yourself. I think that overlapping them, like having friends that you can do schoolwork with, or having friends that you can work with, or doing schoolwork at work, like when you have free time, or random stuff like that. I don't know. That might not be good advice, but I just think that is really important, because if like you have a friend who doesn't align with your goals, whether it's in your work life or your school life, then are they really a friend? Getting deep over here. I don't know. I think that's $1 million question. How can you balance all of those and still have enough time for self-care and to be happy? When I figure it out, I'll let you know. So that is my school survival guide. I would like to do a couple more videos of this school survival guide. If you want to comment more questions that you thought of throughout this video down below, I'd love that. I love you guys so much. I hope you didn't hear my dog barking in the back that whole time. I hope that this helped you in any sort of way. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye. Peace.
I got that Fuji La lit up, that killer. Roll big L's uptown, go figure. Fuck with the Zilla, none one rilla. Mention my name, you better pay my lawyer. Got a Bible on my best thing, and condoms in my left hand. I just wanna party with my kinfolk and kick it with an M.